Hi, good evening everyone. This is Shefali Singla, and in this session we are going to discuss the concept of attribute closure and its application. First of all, we'll cover the concepts of the primary key, alternate key, and the foreign key because that was the pending topic from yesterday's session. Yesterday we had the introduction to our DBMS where we discussed a few terms related to the relation related to RDBMS, and then we talked about few rules. First of all, those who have joined the session, guys, quickly give me the confirmation if the audio and the video is fine. And along with that, if you have any query in the previous topic, just let me know. The most important thing that we discussed in the previous session, it was to find out the number of super keys if we are given with the candidate key and the attributes of the relation, right? I guess there is no query. I hadn't given any assignment question. Before moving on to attribute closure, let's finish the concept of the pending keys. So first of all, primary key. As we know that for a relation there can be multiple candidate keys, but there is exactly one primary key. The main property of the primary key is it's always unique and not null. That means अगर आप किसी भी relation में किसी भी attribute या set of attributes को primary key बना रहे हो, then it cannot hold the null value. Under what scenarios we can have the null value that we have already covered, right? So there can be more than one candidate key. N number of candidate keys are possible in a relation. The only thing is a candidate key is the minimum number of attributes which are determining all the attributes of a relation. So there can be more than one candidate key in a relation, but only one primary key. Let us assume that we had three candidate keys. We had three candidate keys. Out of these three candidate keys, one key is selected as primary key. So what about the remaining two candidate keys? That means 3 minus 1. Total candidate keys were 3. 3 minus 1 because we have selected one key as a primary key. So the remaining keys are behaving as the alternate key. These are the alternate keys. Primary key कैसे declare करते हैं? Like when you are using the create table, then under this we are going to provide the definition for the columns and we are determining the domain. So here column 1 data type name, for example SID, and I want you can say I want the data type as the integer or varchar, like that. So column 1 data type, column 2 data type. If I want to make column 2 as the primary key, so I'll write here primary key for which column. For example, I want to make SID. कल वाली example को ही हम refer कर रहे हैं. Primary key किसको बनाना है मुझे? SID. So I'll mention here that my primary key for the relation will be SID. Okay, so this is the concept of the primary key. Main thing is it is always unique and not null. Primary key can never have the null value. Alternate key, already we have discussed. The candidate key other than the primary key is known as the alternate key. So this is about the alternate key, that's it. The most important one is the foreign key. So foreign key, as the name itself suggests, that it is going to refer, that means the key for one relation is referring to the key of other relation. So that is known as foreign key. अब हमें इसका मतलब foreign key concept को understand करने के लिए we need to have two relations. So let us take two relations for better understanding. Let us okay, I'm using this slide because previous slide पे हमारे पास बहुत ज़्यादा space नहीं है. Foreign key concept. For this, I'm assuming two tables. Let us assume that one table name is the student and another table name is enroll. So there are two tables, student and enroll. In the student table, we have few attributes. Basically, what student table is doing, student table is holding the information of all the students, right? And enroll table is going to hold the information about the students which are already enrolled in some course. For example, when you have joined the test book, तो initially आप में से किसी ने subscription नहीं लिया होगा. So you must be following the free sessions like YouTube or master classes like that. Right, but once you got the concept और आपको clarity आई कि नहीं everything is going well and you can prepare from test book, तो आप खुद को enroll करवाते हो किसी course में. तो there are two different tables, because in the enroll table when you are going to join any session, you need to enter your password. Then only you will get the access to the videos which are not available for all the students. So that's why two different tables are maintained. One is the student table, another one is enroll table. अब enroll table में कौन सी एंट्रीज आएंगी? जो स्टूडेंट प्लेटफॉर्म पे आए वही तो एनरोल होंगे, right? That means only the student IDs which are present in the student table. I'm taking here the SID, and here we have the student ID, and here we have the course and fee. I'm not going to hold the complete information in the enroll table as well, क्योंकि जब आपने खुद को register करवाया, already you must have provided the details like the student name, age, address, and so on. So I'm not going to again fill the same form for the subscription, क्योंकि जब आप subscription पे जाते हो, just you have to enter, you just have to do the payment. That's it, because already your data is available in the student table. करेक्ट? तो आप लोग क्या करते हो, कोर्स सेलेक्ट करते हो और जिस भी कोर्स में आपको एनरोल होना है, यू जस्ट पे द फी फॉर द सेम. दैट्स इट. So same thing we are going to do here. Let us assume that initially no student is enrolled. Okay? अब यहाँ पे एक चीज हमें क्लियर होगी कि स्टूडेंट टेबल में सिर्फ वही स्टूडेंट आईडीज आ सकती हैं. फॉर दिस रिलेशन SID is the primary key. In the enroll table only the student ID eligible or the allowed student ID should be the SID of the student table, क्योंकि जो student ने registration form fill किया है, only that can take the admission in the enrolled form. So this means that the student ID is referring to the values of the SID of the student table, where SID is the primary key. इतना clear हुआ? SID student table की primary key है. Correct? First of all, few terms here. Since the enroll table is dependent on enroll table की जो key है, that is the student ID, that is dependent on the SID, the primary key of the student relation. तो यहाँ पे हम क्या बोल सकते हैं? Here we can say that this table, enroll table, is the child table because it is dependent on the parent table, that is the student table. This is the parent table. To be more specific, we can say that since enroll table is referring for some value, so this is known as the referencing relation. Enroll table is known as child relation, or we can also call this as referencing relation. Whereas student table, since this is referred by the referencing relation enroll, so we can say that student is nothing but this is the referenced relation. Why I'm using these terms? Because on the basis of this, we are going to talk about the referential integrity constraints. कल वाले सेशन में मैंने आपको बोला था कि just wait for some time. We'll talk about the referential integrity constraints in detail. So this is the right time to talk about it. So student ID, initially let's assume that both the tables are empty. So first student is coming up and it has filled the registration form. So definitely it will go to the student relation. For example, the student ID is S1, name is John, and age is something like 22. Okay. Is there any problem? कोई भी student आगे खुद को register कर सकता है. अभी subscription नहीं ली है, enroll नहीं हुआ है, so that is perfectly fine. There is no problem. Right? So we have to talk about the referential integrity constraints for referenced relation as well as for referencing relation. Okay, so basically we are going to perform three operations. One is the insertion, deletion, and updation. Right. So first of all, we had entered few values in the student relation. Is it creating any problem? Let us assume that I'm going to insert one more entry in the student relation, that is S2, and name is, let's assume, Mary, and age of the Mary is 21. So is it creating any problem? No, it's not creating any problem. This is the reference relation. That means on insertion in the reference relation is not creating any problem. There is no violation of the referential integrity constraint. Okay, now let us try to insert some value in the enroll table. Those students are S1 and S2, they have filled the registration, they are the student and they want to enroll themselves in some course. Let us assume that S2 has enrolled for the course GATE and fee is 12,000. Okay, so is this allowed? Yes, definitely that is allowed because it is referring to the SID S2. Is it present in the primary key of the student relation? Yes, it is present, so it is allowed. So not creating any problem. Now I want to make one more entry here. Let's assume that that is S3 and it has enrolled for the course NIC and fee is, let's assume, 6,000. So is this entry allowed? एनरोल टेबल का जो स्टूडेंट आईडी है वो स्टूडेंट टेबल की एसआईडी को रेफर कर रहा है बट S3 आईडी का तो कोई स्टूडेंट है ही नहीं तो वो एनरोलमेंट किसी कोर्स में एनरोल कैसे हुआ जब स्टूडेंट ही एग्जिस्ट नहीं कर रहा तो वो एनरोल कैसे हुआ सो दिस इंसर्शन इज नॉट अलाउड this is not allowed. You get this point? So this means that when we are going to perform the insertion on the child relation or on the referencing relation, then it may or may not, I'm not saying it will always create the violation, but it may or may not violate the referential integrity constraint. Make sense? Yeah. Now next one is the deletion. Now let's assume that I want to delete some entry from the enroll relation, from the reference relation. I want to delete the entry S1. Is it creating any problem? No, this is not creating any problem. S3, two people can have the same name. Age is not known as of now. So let's assume that that value is null. सो S1 को डिलीट करवाना है इज इट पॉसिबल टू डिलीट S1 कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है डिलीट करवाया रेफरेंसिंग रिलेशन में वैल्यू एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं कर रही है सो नो प्रॉब्लम नेक्स्ट वन इज आई वांट टू डिलीट द एंट्री मैरी फॉर S2 I'm performing the deletion on the reference relation तो अगर स्टूडेंट टेबल में वैल्यू डिलीट हुई this value is referring to which value जिस वैल्यू को रेफर कर रहा है वो तो एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं कर रही है दैट मीन्स दिस डिलीशन इज गोइंग टू क्रिएट अ प्रॉब्लम for the entry in the enrolled relation. That means when we are performing the deletion on the reference relation, it may or may not violate the rule. It may or may not violate the rule. जब भी violation होती है, there are few steps. Sometimes your system is having the constraint like अगर कोई rule break हो रहा है, if any violation is taking place, then you are not supposed to perform that operation. System won't allow you to perform that operation. Other solution is if you are performing the deletion from one table, अगर S2 वाली entry आपने parent table से delete की है तो child table में भी नहीं हो सकती so delete it from the child table as well. That is known as on delete cascade. पहले हमने क्या बोला कि deletion allow ही नहीं करेगा that is known as no action. थर्ड सॉल्यूशन इज सेट नल जो भी आपने वैल्यू डिलीट किया फॉर एग्जांपल S2 इज नॉट एग्जिस्टिंग हियर नाउ सो S2 विल बी सेट टू नल सो बेसिकली व्हाट इज दिस स्टूडेंट आईडी इज द फॉरेन की में नल वैल्यूज आर अलाउड सो यू कैन सेट दिस वैल्यू टू नल Okay, so these are the three possible solutions: no action, cascade, and set null. So these can be written like on deletion, no action. That means deletion is not allowed. On delete, cascade. That means if you are deleting the entry from one relation, it has to be deleted from the other relation as well. On delete, set null. That means if the deleted value was used at some other place, then it has to set null, provided there is no constraint on the attribute. For example, अगर मैंने student ID के ऊपर attribute लगाया हुआ है not null, तो set null will get fail. तो यहाँ पे set null value नहीं कर सकते. So whenever you are using this solution, then always make sure the attribute is allowed to have the null values. Okay, otherwise that will give you an error. Next one, deletion. If I want to delete some entry from you can say this was S5. That was the different entry. Now I want to perform the deletion from the table, that is from student ID or from the enrolled relation. If I want to delete the entry S2, S2 parent में भी exist कर रही है, तो student table is containing the information of all the students. It's just like आप किसी college में admission लेते हो and once your convocation is done, even then you are the alumni of that college. तो आपकी information हमेशा college के पास रहती है. The only thing is you won't be considered as the enrolled student at that time, or you won't be recognized as the current student, right? But you will be under the list of the alumni of that college. So this means that अगर S2 का course complete हो गया, then enroll table से entry हट जाएगी, but definitely it will be in the student relation. So referencing relation पे जब आप deletion perform करते हो, in that case there is no violation of the rules. इन रूल्स के बेसिस पे डायरेक्टली स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. आई होप दैट यू ऑल आर गेटिंग दिस पॉइंट. नेक्स्ट वन, अपडेशन. सो इफ आई एम गोइंग टू परफॉर्म एनी अपडेशन इन द पेरेंट टेबल, हो सकता है कि वो वैल्यू चाइल्ड टेबल में भी यूज हो रही हो. सो इट मे और मे नॉट violate. If the rule is broken, then we have to provide the solution. तो यहाँ पे solution क्या देंगे? On update, no action. On update, cascade. That means if the changes are taking place in the parent table, then it has to be made in the child relation as well. Similarly, in the referencing relation, if you are changing the value, you are updating the value in the child relation, then it might have to be updated in the parent relation, may cause violation. So these are the referential integrity constraints, and this is the concept of the foreign key. So these are the main terms. Now let's quickly go through. I have written all these points for your reference. So I hope that this is understood by everyone. Guys, quickly give me the confirmation if the concept of the foreign key is clear. अगर ये concept clear हो गया तो एक बार फटाफट से confirmation दे दो, so that we can go to the next concept. Very good evening, Shubham. So whatever terms I have used, it's all written here for your reference, and after the session I'll share this PDF in the Telegram group, and you know that the link is in the description box. So first of all, if an attribute can take what is a foreign key, in the foreign key we know that the attribute is referring the values of some other attribute of some other relation. That is known as a foreign key. If an attribute can only take the values which are present as the values of some other attribute, जब foreign की बात आ रही है तो it is referring to other relation, it will be a foreign key to the attribute for which it refers. जिसको refer कर रहे हैं, for that attribute it will be behaving as a foreign key. The relation, अब हमने दो relations की बात की है, one is the reference relation and the referencing relation. So the relation which is being referenced, जिसको refer कर रहे हैं, that is known as the referenced relation, or you can also call this as the parent relation. For better understanding, you can also call this as the parent relation, and the corresponding attribute is called referenced attribute. जैसे SID was the referenced attribute क्योंकि SID की values को हम refer कर रहे हैं. And the relation which refers to the reference relation, जो रिलेशन रेफरेंस रिलेशन को रेफर करे that is the child relation, that is also known as the referencing relation. You can see here child relation is also known as the referencing relation. Yeah, and the corresponding attribute is known as the referencing attribute. You can also call this as the child relation. The reference attribute of the reference relation should be the primary key to it. So we have already discussed that student table में SID is the primary key. तो जिसको refer करें that should be the primary key. So you can expect a 1 mark question on the basis of this property. Okay, just take care of this. Foreign key can be null. Okay, as well as it may contain duplicate tuples. सिर्फ यहाँ पे the only constraint is it cannot have the new values which are not present in the referenced attribute. Okay. तो अगर by default null values allowed होती है, but कई बार क्या होता है कि we are taking some attributes जहाँ पे हम constraint दे देते हैं not null, so in that case we cannot set the values to null. Anomalies in relational model. So basically anomalies means when the problems can occur, that is during the insertion, deletion or updation. Insertion anomaly is if a tuple is inserted in the referencing relation. Insertion के time पे problem किस में आ रही है? Violation is taking place in case of the referencing relation. So it is written here, if a tuple is inserted in the referencing relation, child relation में आप कोई value insert कर रहे हो which actually does not exist in the parent relation, then that value is not allowed. So referencing attribute is not present in the referenced attribute. It will not allow inserting in the referencing relation. That means during the insertion of the values in the referencing relation, it may create the violation. Same goes with the deletion and the updation. We have already discussed the rules. If a tuple is deleted or updated from the reference relation and referenced attribute value is used by referencing relation, अगर आपके पास value referencing relation में child relation में use हो रही है, then it will not allow you to delete the tuple from the referenced relation. Okay. So there are different rules. We have talked about that. One is on delete or update. जब भी कोई violation होता है, then on delete or update we can set the value to null. On delete or update cascade. And third one is on delete or update no action. That means it won't be performing. It is not allowed to perform the specified operation. So if a tuple is deleted or updated from the referenced relation or referenced attribute, value is used by referencing attribute. So on delete or update में क्या होगा? That value will be set to the null. Cascade के case में operation will be performed on both the relations. In case of no action, no action. नाम से समझ में आ रहा है कोई action perform होगा ही नहीं. Okay, so this is all about the concept of the keys. So under the keys, we have talked about the simple key, composite key. That means the different types of keys based on the number of attributes. Then we talked about candidate key, super key, primary key, alternate key, and foreign key. Now let's talk about what sort of questions can be asked. Conceptual question हम बोल सकते हैं इसे, theoretical question तो कैसे भी आ सकते हैं. So here we are given with one rule and we have to tell that how many additional tuples will be deleted when the tuple 2, 4 is deleted. Okay, so here it is given that A is the primary key for some relation. किसी relation के लिए A is the primary key and C is the foreign key. Okay, this is the foreign key. And this foreign key means it is going to refer to the primary key of some other relation. So this foreign key C is referring to A. That means C में सिर्फ और सिर्फ वही values आ सकती हैं जो A attribute A में available है. Here it is saying that with the constraint on delete cascade. यानी कि अगर आपके पास कोई tuple delete होता है A में जो value नहीं है, that should not be present in C as well. So just give it a try that how many additional tuples will be deleted when the tuple 2, 4 is deleted. अगर टपल 2 4 को डिलीट करते हैं तो एडिशनली कितने और टपल्स डिलीट होंगे? If the similar question will be asked in the GATE exam, then definitely it will come under the numerical answer type question. You won't be given with the options, but the uh, same type of question has been asked in the NIC, UGC NET, and ISRO as well. So you can see that the options are given. Anyone got the answer? You have 30 seconds more. Okay, let's see how to proceed with this type of question. This is saying that how many additional tuples will be deleted when the tuple 2 4 is deleted. So if we are going to delete this tuple, that means the value 2 is deleted from the primary key. तो अगर 2 प्राइमरी की में नहीं है, एट्रीब्यूट ए के अंडर नहीं है, तो वो सी में भी नहीं आ सकता है. चेक करो एट्रीब्यूट सी में कहीं पे वैल्यू 2 आ रही है. यस, इट इज हियर. सो दिस it is on delete cascade, so this tuple will also be deleted. Two values available here, this tuple will also be deleted. When we were deleting these two values from this relation, so 5 or 7 be delete ho gaya. This means that 5 and 7 should not be allowed under C. 5 or 7 is used, 5 is used here, so it is being referred here. So this has to be deleted as well. So 2579 should not be present under C. Yes, it's not there. So this means that 3 additional tuples are deleted. That is 52, 72 and 95. Clear? तो आपसे नंबर ऑफ टपल से भी क्वेश्चन आ सकता है, और दे में आस्क दैट व्हाट टपल्स व्हाट एडिशनल टपल्स विल बी डिलीटेड. तो आप क्या ऑप्शन सेलेक्ट करोगे? 52, 72 एंड 95. So this is all about the concept of the keys. Anyone having any doubt? Yes, no, may or may not be, not sure. We'll talk about more questions on the similar pattern but under the master class. Because master classes are basically nothing but what I'm going to do is I'll be mapping all the master classes with the YouTube so that we can cover more practice questions and previous year questions on the from the concept that we are covering on the YouTube. Okay, so basically master classes will be the mapping of the YouTube sessions. So YouTube pe you just have to focus on understanding the concepts only. Don't rush behind writing or taking down the notes, because I'll be sharing these PDFs in the Telegram group and questions will be discussed in the master class. तो सिर्फ और सिर्फ अभी के लिए आपका टारगेट ये है कि कॉन्सेप्ट को अंडरस्टैंड करो. Finally, the difference between the primary key and the foreign key, we know that primary key is always unique and not null, whereas the foreign key may or may not be unique and it may also contain the null value. Primary key is used to ensure data in the specific column is unique. हमेशा uniqueness ensure करता है, but foreign key does not ensure it. It just refers to the value of some other relation. So a foreign key is a column or group of columns in a relational database table that provides a link between data in two tables. दो tables के बीच में data link provide कर रहा है. It uniquely identifies a record in the relational database table. Whereas क्योंकि uniqueness है तो uniquely it will identify. It refers to the field in a table which is primary key of another table. One primary key is allowed in a table, whereas more than one foreign key are allowed in a table. It is a combination of unique and not null constraint. हमेशा unique values होंगी और not null होंगी. And in the foreign key, it may contain the duplicate values in a relation. It does not allow the null values. Foreign key allows the null values. The value cannot be deleted from the parent table because it may violate the rule, whereas the deletion can be taken from the child relation. Is this clear? So next we are going to talk about the different types of functional dependencies. So functional dependency के basis पे we are going to find out the closure, attribute closure, and then we'll discuss its applications. But I'll be using two terms like trivial dependency and non-trivial dependency. That means you should be comfortable with the definition of trivial and non-trivial functional dependencies. Okay. So first of all, what is a functional dependency? Let us assume that R is a relational schema and there are two attributes X and Y over the relation R. T1 and T2 be any two tuples. So functional dependency X determines Y. This is read as X determines Y. ये कब true होगा? When the value of T1 dot X is equal to T2 dot X and T1 dot Y is equal to T2 dot Y. यानी कि x determines y का मतलब क्या है? If you know the value of x, then you will be getting a unique value for y, right? अगर x की value same है, then we'll be getting the same value for y. For example, जो ये description लिखी है, इसका मतलब है we have the relation R, and under that there are two attributes available. X and y are the two attributes. These are the two attributes. We have considered two tuples T1 and T2. Now, if the value of the attribute X is same for both the tuples, for example, X1 and X1, then the value of Y will also be same. Okay, that means if I know the roll number of a student, then I can uniquely identify if roll number of a student is unique. So we can easily identify the result or the phone number or whatever information you want to get, you will be able to achieve it, right? But if there is some relation R1 and the attributes are, for example, like X1 and X2, Y2, and there are two tuples, and I'm saying that the value of X is A, roll number is A, and I'm getting the different result. I'm getting the different result for the roll number. Is it for the marks? Okay, so is it possible? This is not possible. So here we can say that X does not determines Y. अगर हमें x की वैल्यू पता है तो हम y की वैल्यू यूनिकली डिटरमाइन नहीं कर पा रहे, so this is not allowed. Whereas here, if we know the value of x, then we are getting a unique value for y, so we can say that for the relation R, x determines y. This is the meaning of the functional dependency. Determines y. Okay. Now, what are the different types of functional dependencies? मैं बहुत ज़्यादा details में नहीं जा रही हूँ. I'm just discussing the terms which are required for the upcoming topic. So trivial functional dependency means the dependency which is but obvious. For example, if I'm saying that x determines y is a trivial functional dependency, ये कब होगी? This is known as trivial functional dependency if x is a superset of y. यानी कि लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पे जो एट्रीब्यूट आ रहे हैं, राइट हैंड साइड पे भी आपके पास उन्हीं में से कोई एट्रीब्यूट आ रहा है और द सेम सेट ऑफ एट्रीब्यूट्स आर कमिंग आउट. फॉर example for trivial functional dependency is SID determines SID. So left hand side pe whatever attribute we had, we are having the same attribute on the right hand side. Another example is left hand side should be a superset SID S name determines S name. So if we know the value for the SID and the S name, can we return the value of the S name? Definitely yes. So these are the examples of the trivial functional dependency. Next one is non-trivial functional dependency. That means which is not but obvious. So I can say that X determines Y is non-trivial functional dependency if X, there is no common attribute between X and Y. X intersection Y is equal to 5. There is no common attribute. For example, I'm saying that if I know the ID of the student, I can uniquely identify the name of the student. So is there any common attribute between the left hand side and the right hand side? No. So this is nothing but this is a non-trivial functional dependency. Clear? Yes? Semi non-trivial is nothing but that's the combination of trivial and non-trivial. For example, we are saying that SID determines SID and S name. So if we identify this, here this is a combination of trivial and non-trivial functional dependency. On the basis of this, we can write this as SID determines, I'm applying the splitting property, SID determines SID and SID determines S name. So first part is the trivial functional dependency, second one is non-trivial. So we can say that SID determines SID and S name is an example of the semi non-trivial functional dependency. That means which is neither completely trivial, completely trivial, nor non-trivial functional dependency. Make sense? Yes? So these are the different types of functional dependencies. Next, we have to talk about the attribute closure. Very, very important. If you are not comfortable with attribute closure and its applications, then you may face a problem in decomposition of a relation. सबसे पहले हमें decomposition चाहिए, and attribute closure and decomposition of a relation is used as the base for the normalization. And you know that normalization से एक question पक्का आना ही आना है, चाहे आपके पास GATE exam है or any other competitive exam is there. In fact, students, those who are learning DBMS in their curriculum for the ongoing semester, then also you can expect one question in 5 or 8 marks from the normalization. Okay. So just understand these basics very carefully so that normalization में कोई problem नहीं है. Okay. So attribute closure, usually this is referred as, for example, I want to find out the attribute closure for X. So I'll be writing this as X, or superscript A, we will be writing this as plus. That means I want to find out the attribute closure of X. So it determines set of all the attributes which are functionally determined by the given attribute X. What do I mean by this point? For example, we are given with a functional dependency set. That is, A determines B, B determines C, and C determines D. हमें functional dependency set given है. Now we have to identify the attribute closure for, let's assume A. I want to find out A closure. A closure क्या होगा? Definitely A will be determining itself. खुद को तो determine करेगा ही करेगा. So A is determining itself. After that, A is determining B. We are given with the functional dependency set. A is determining B. B is determining C. C is determining D. So we can say that A closure is nothing but that is A, B, C, D. Similarly, if I want to find out B closure, हमेशा start कहाँ से करेंगे? जिस भी attribute का आप closure find कर रहे हो, start it always from that attribute, because according to the trivial functional dependency, the attribute present on the left hand side will also be present on the right hand side. खुद को determine करेगा ही करेगा. So B closer means B is determining itself. B is determining C. C is determining D. Next, I want to find out C closer. C will determine itself. C is determining D. I want to find out D closer. D closer means D will be determining itself. D is determining any other attribute? No. So these are the attribute closer. जरूरी नहीं है single attribute का find करने. You can find it for any attribute. For example, I want to find out for BD closer. So what will be BD closer? BD is determining B and D. खुद को determine करेगा. अब देखो जो attributes right hand side पे आ चुके हैं उनमें से कौन से और नए attributes आ रहे हैं. B is determining C, so C will also be included. C is determining D, that is already present. So we can say that BD closer is BDC. Or you can also write this as BCD. Here the order of attributes does not matter. Okay? This much is clear? Guys, quickly give me the confirmation if the meaning of attribute closure is clear. तो दो तरीके से क्वेश्चन आ सकते हैं. Obviously, applications of attributes are important, but apart from that, you can also expect the straightforward question on the basis of the attribute closure. After this, we'll be discussing one question, but उससे पहले मुझे एक बार confirmation दे दो. Here we have to identify the clauses. Which of the following is false? जब भी आपके पास question आता है, please take care of this thing. बहुत बार क्या होता है कि students देखते हैं कि first one is true and they opt for the first option and हमें attribute closer आता है. तो ध्यान से पढ़ना होता है. Sometimes they may ask which of the following is not true. Instead of writing false, they'll write as not true. ये छोटी छोटी ट्रिक्स होती है जो आप जल्दी जल्दी में मिस कर देते हो. सिर्फ ट्रू पे ध्यान जाता है, आगे वो छोटा सा जो नॉट होता है वो दिखता ही नहीं है, जिसकी वजह से पूरा मीनिंग चेंज हो जाता है. सो डोंट डू दैट काइंड ऑफ सिली मिस्टेक्स. Identify the clauses. So here we need not to find out the closure of all the possible attributes. So we are just given with the options और हमें ये determine करना है which one is correct. So I'm finding the CF closure. कहाँ से start करेंगे from CF? CF is determining itself. Now check here. AF is not there, not there. C is available, so C is determining G. F is determining E. G is determining A. A and F. A, B is not, A, B we cannot use because only A is available, not B. A, F. Can we use this dependency? A and F both are available. AF is determining D, so we will take here D as well. This we have already used. DE is determining F. DE is determining F. All the attributes are present, so this is also used. So this is the attribute closure. यहाँ पे check करो what is given. You can also write this as A, C, D, E, F, G. Is this the correct? Yes. CF closure का attribute यही है, so this is true. But we have to find out the false one. So like that, check for the remaining three options B, C, D. यानी कि A cannot be the answer. हमें false find करना है. So just tell me that what should be the answer for this question. You want to give it a try? Come on, hurry up, everyone. Okay, let's complete this question. BG closer. BG will be determining itself, and G is determining A. Now we have A and B. AB is determining CD. Then F is not available. E is not available. C has already determined G. F is not available. G is determining A. So that's it. So this comes out to be A, B, C, D, G. Is this the answer? Yes. So this means this is also true. This cannot be the answer. AF closer. Find out AF closer. AF will be determining itself. आप इस तरीके से भी लिख सकते हो एक ही स्टेप में AF. AF is determining D and F is determining E. Okay. And AB, this is not available. AF has determined D, that is already considered. DE is determining F, that is also considered. C is not available. F is determining E. G is determining A. These dependencies cannot be used. So this means that A, D, E, F, this is also true. You need not to check for this because obviously if it's a MCQ type question, पहले वाले सारे सही हैं. तो D should be the answer. Let us find out AB closer. यहाँ पे already आपको पता चल रहा है AB means it will be starting from AB. AB will surely determine itself, but here B is not present. So this means that not true. B is missing. You need not to find it. So we have to tell that which option is false. So that is the option D. Answer for this question is D, and this is how we find out the attribute closures. Anyone having any doubt? I guess there is no doubt on this point. So next, we have to talk about the applications of attribute closure. Very, very important topic. On the basis of the attribute closure, we can identify the super keys. Basically, super key is nothing but when we are finding the attribute closure, and that is determining all the attributes of a relation R. For example, हम लोगों ने एक example लिया था R. Let's assume that the relation R is having 4 attributes A, B, C, D, and we are given with the functional dependency set A determines B, B determines C, C determines D, right? So here we had calculated A closer. A closer was coming out to be A, B, C, D. And if I find out AB closer, that is also going to return ABCD. So if the attribute closure of any attribute or attribute set is determining all the attributes of a relation, then it is known as the super key. अगर सारे के सारे attributes determine हो रहे, relation R में हमारे पास 4 attributes है ABCD, चारों attributes आ रहे, so it is known as the super key. Okay. Uh, if I find out B closer, it is BCD. BCD में देखो attribute A is missing, so this is not, B is not super key. So that is the meaning of the first application. We can identify the super keys. Let R be the relational schema, R कोई relational schema है, and X be the attribute set over R. If X closer, कोई X is the attribute set. Attribute set means it may contain one attribute or it may be containing more than one attribute. So X closer determines all attributes of a relation. अगर सारे attributes को determine कर रहा है relation R के, तो हम उसे बोलेंगे कि that is a super key of the relation R. अब सुपर की और कैंडिडेट की में हमने एक डिफरेंस डिस्कस किया था. कैंडिडेट की इज द सेट ऑफ मिनिमल नंबर ऑफ एट्रीब्यूट्स. फॉर एग्जांपल, here according to our example, we have discussed that A is the super key, AB is the super key, ABC is the super key, AC will be the super key, AD will be the super key. All these are the super keys. Okay. इनमें से कैंडिडेट की हम कब बोलेंगे? When it is containing the minimum number of attributes. Minimum number of attributes determining all attributes of a relation, then it is said to be the candidate key. For example, A, this is a single attribute, तो इसका सबसेट हम फाइंड नहीं कर सकते. तो इजीएस्ट वे क्या होता है, आप सुपर की फाइंड करो. इफ यू आर गेटिंग अ कॉम्पोजिट सुपर की, दैट मीन्स द सुपर की इज कंटेनिंग मोर देन वन एट्रीब्यूट, तो सबसेट लेकर उसका क्लोजर फाइंड करके देखो वेदर इट्स सबसेट इज डिटरमाइनिंग ऑल एट्रीब्यूट्स ऑफ अ रिलेशन और नॉट. अगर सबसेट भी सारे एट्रीब्यूट्स को डिटरमाइन कर रहे हैं तो श्योरली the attribute set is the super key, not the candidate key. What I'm saying is, अगर हमने माना है कि super key is AB, तो what I'll do is I'll take A closer, I'll find out A closer. We have already calculated this A, B, C, D. I'll find out B closer, B, C, D. One of the proper subset of AB is determining all attributes of a relation. That means AB is not containing the minimum number of attributes to determine all attributes of a relation. कम से कम हमें ए बी नहीं चाहिए, ओनली ए इज सफिशिएंट. सिर्फ ए के साथ भी सारे एट्रीब्यूट्स डिटरमाइन हो रहे हैं, सो वी विल से दैट कैंडिडेट की इज ए ओनली. तो हमारे पास कैंडिडेट की क्या आएगी, दैट इज ए ओनली. Okay, so we can determine the candidate key. Candidate key is nothing but that is the minimal super key. Here we had the set of the super keys. Out of this, minimal super key is the candidate key. Okay, so X is said to be minimal super key if none of the proper subset, यानी कि जो भी आपके पास candidate key में ऐसा कोई hard and fast rule नहीं है कि आपके पास simple key ही होगी, multiple attributes से भी candidate key बन सकती है, but the point is all those attributes should be mandatory. Okay, proper subset should not be allowed to determine all attributes of a relation. So if none of the proper subset of X should be the super key. Okay. Next one is membership test, यानी कि आपको कोई dependency given होगी. We will find out the closure and we'll see if that dependency is a member of the given functional dependency set. Next one is functional dependency set closure. You can expect a question on the basis of membership test. Functional dependency set closure से आज तक कोई question नहीं आया है. Then is the equality between the functional dependency set. Usually uh, you can use this concept when you are going for the decomposition of a relation. Okay, क्योंकि जब आप decompose कर रहे हो relation को और we are given with a functional, two different functional dependency set, we have to determine whether both are equivalent, both are equal or not. Then we use this concept. This is also an application of the attribute closure, so we have to cover these applications. Super keys हमें find करने की जरूरत नहीं है, because if you know the candidate key, you can easily identify the number of super keys. Moreover, if 6 attributes are given, तो there are worst case में आपके पास 2 raised to power 5 super keys will be possible. So nobody is going to ask the super keys. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा आपसे number of super keys पूछ लेंगे, but not the super keys. Okay. So let's focus on finding the candidate key. Along with this, I'll be talking about two more terms. One is the prime attribute and non-prime attribute. Prime attributes are also known as the key attributes. That means कोई भी attribute जो किसी भी candidate key में आए, that is known as the prime attribute, and the remaining attributes of the relation will be known as the non-prime attributes. Okay. All right. So let's see what how to find out the candidate keys. I'll be using here the terms prime attribute, candidate key को shorthand में I'll be writing this as CK, prime attribute को I'll be writing this as PA. So prime attribute is also known as the key attribute. By default key का मतलब क्या है? We are referring to the candidate key. Okay, candidate key attribute. Now this is the attribute. नाम से समझ में आ रहा है, किसी भी की में अगर attribute present है, then that will be known as the prime attribute. So attribute present in some key, सारी keys में होना जरूरी नहीं है, किसी भी key में अगर available है, that is known as the candidate key attribute. And this was also asked in the NILET Scientist B exam. तो ये क्वेश्चन आ चुका है, what is a prime attribute. Okay, so you should know the definition of the prime attribute. And non-prime attribute are also known as the non-key attributes. These are the attributes which are not the part of any key. Attributes that are not part of any candidate key. Okay, so let's solve this question. आइडेंटिफाई द कैंडिडेट कीज कहाँ से स्टार्ट करेंगे? जो भी आपको फर्स्ट फंक्शनल डिपेंडेंसी गिवन है उसके लेफ्ट साइड पे जो भी एट्रीब्यूट्स है जस्ट स्टार्ट फ्रॉम दैट पॉइंट. सो आई विल बी टेकिंग ए बी. So a candidate key means it has to determine all the attributes of a relation, and in the relation are 5 attributes are given A, B, C, D, E. So we'll find out AB closer. AB will be determining itself. AB is determining C. C is determining D, and B is determining E. So it is determining all the attributes of a relation, but directly I'll not call this as a candidate key क्योंकि यहाँ पे आपके पास दो attributes से सारे attributes determine हो रहे हैं. So may be the case that the subset of this super key is also determining all the attributes. So initially I'll be calling this as super key. Now, in order to make sure that this is a candidate key, I'll find out the subset of AB. AB का subset क्या आएगा? Proper subset will be A and B. So I'll find out A closer. A closer means A is determining itself. सिर्फ A और किसी को determine करे, A B मिलकर C को determine करे. Only A is not determining any other attribute. So it is not determining all attributes of relation. Same goes with B. B will be determining itself. B alone is determining E. Is there any other possibility? No. Since the proper subset is not determining all the attributes of a relation, so we can say that AB is the minimal super key. Minimal super key is nothing but that is the candidate key. We have to return here the candidate keys. Candidate keys कौन सी आई? AB. And on the basis of this, if I have to determine the prime attribute and the non-prime attribute means it's a part of the attribute that's a part of the candidate key. तो दो attributes आ रहे हैं यहाँ पे A and B. Is there any other possibility of getting the candidate key? There is no other possibility. For this one, we have only one candidate key. So non-prime attributes कौन से होंगे? Total 5 attributes were there, out of which 2 are the prime attributes. So remaining 3 attributes will be known as the non-prime attributes. Make sense? These are the non-prime attributes. Correct? One more question. How we can determine that there is a possibility of more than one candidate key. So let's check here A, B, C, D, E. We are given with the functional dependency set. Obviously, we'll start from AB. We'll find out AB closer. AB is determining itself. AB is determining C. C is determining D. And B is determining EA. So here we'll get E as well. So I'll call this as super key. Okay. मैं इसको डायरेक्टली कैंडिडेट की नहीं लिख रही हूँ. कैंडिडेट की के लिए आई हैव टू मेक श्योर इट्स proper subset is not determining all the attributes. So I'll find out the attribute closure of its proper subsets. So A closure, A is determining itself. Alone A is not determining any other attribute. So only A will be writing here. Next one is B closer. B is determining itself. B is determining EA. So we are getting here A and E as well. AB मिलकर अब AB आ चुके हैं. AB मिलकर C को determine कर रहे हैं and C is determining D. So this means that proper subset of AB is determining all the attributes of a relation. So we will say that AB is a super key but not a candidate key. Here AB is a super key but not candidate key because it's not containing the minimum number of attributes, not candidate key. So what is the candidate key here? Candidate key is B. This is the candidate key. तो इसलिए बेटा जब भी आप लोग कैंडिडेट की डिटरमाइन करते हो, अगर आपके पास कॉम्पोजिट की आ रही है, तो ऑलवेज चेक that its minimal, its subset should not be determining attributes of the relation. Okay, so here we will return the result. So B is the candidate key. So prime attribute are the key attribute. So B is the prime attribute. Remaining attributes will be the non-prime attributes, that is A, C, D and E. Make sense? Are you all comfortable with this concept? Here, you have to determine the candidate keys, identify the candidate keys. This is the last question, and then we'll be ending this discussion here. Remaining applications will be covering in tomorrow's session along with the concept of the minimal cover. Relation R is having 5 attributes. तो एक कैंडिडेट की तो आपके पास डायरेक्टली आ रही है. We know that more than one candidate key is also possible. Guys, response बहुत ज़्यादा कम है आज वाले सेशन में. I do not know why. Relation R is having the 5 attributes. कहाँ से find out करना शुरू करेंगे? A से. A closer will be determining itself. A is determining B, C, D, E, and it has determined all the attributes of a relation. तो definitely it's a super key. Can I call this as a candidate key? बिल्कुल बोल सकते हैं इसको directly candidate key, because A का proper subset आएगा ही नहीं. So this is a minimal super key. That is nothing but the candidate key. So we have got one of the candidate key, that is A. Next, I want to find out, is there any other possibility of getting the candidate key? This is the important point, because when we are going to discuss the concept of normalization, we have to differentiate between the prime attributes and the non-prime attributes. If you are not getting the correct set of candidate keys, अगर आपने सारी candidate keys ठीक से find ही नहीं किए, तो definitely prime attribute और non-prime attribute सही set नहीं आएगा. और अगर यहाँ पे मिस्टेक है तो डेफिनेटली रूल्स जो हम अप्लाई करते हैं नॉर्मलाइजेशन पे, there will get stuck. So make sure if more than one candidate key is there, you should be able to determine all the possible set of candidate keys. Okay. So since here A is present on the right hand side of BC, that means BC is determining A. So if I replace this A, with BC, so it comes out to be BC. BC is determining A. BC is also determining DE. So it is determining all the attributes of relation. How I got the hint? If you have calculated one candidate key correctly, तो आप check करो कि जो आपके पास candidate key है या फिर prime attribute है, prime attribute will be here A. जो भी आपके पास prime attribute है, is that attribute present on the right hand side of any dependency? अगर किसी भी dependency के right hand side पे, then we'll try to replace it. Okay, तो मैंने क्या किया, A को replace करवाया. Since A is present on the right hand side of BC, तो मैंने A को replace करवा दिया BC के साथ. So I have calculated its closure. So we are getting all the attributes of relation. I'm not directly calling this as the candidate key, because यहाँ पे आपके पास दो attributes आ रहे हैं. So let us find out B closer. B closer will be B only. C closer is C only. So that means this is the minimal super key, that is nothing but the candidate key. Prime attributes, B and C will also be the prime attributes. Now B, C are present on right hand side of any dependency. Yes, so it is present on right hand side of A. Already हम A closer find कर चुके हैं. So these are the two possible candidate keys for the given relation and the functional dependency set. Non-prime attributes, out of total 5 attributes, 3 are the prime attributes, so remaining 2 attributes will be the non-prime attributes. Okay, so this is how we can calculate the candidate keys, prime attributes and the non-prime attributes. I hope that this is clear to everyone. So we were supposed to solve some more questions. I'll share that PDF in the group. Okay. This is our Telegram group, that is Shefali ma'am Testbook. So you guys can join this Telegram group. I'll share the PDF. This PDF will be containing the practice questions as well. So tomorrow I'll be discussing the solutions of those questions, followed by the remaining applications of the attribute closer. Apart from that, you can also post your queries or the doubts in the Telegram group, क्योंकि जब PDF के questions आप solve करोगे तो हो सकता है आपको कुछ confusion हो, तो you can post your query in the Telegram group. You can directly interact with me. You can participate in the quizzes and the polls. Link is given in the description box. Let me show you how you can access that. Oh, just give me a minute. Okay. So currently this video is going on. इसकी हमें ज़रूरत नहीं है. So when you go to the description box here, this is for NIC NILIT master classes. If you want to join any master class, you can click here, and to join the super coaching batch, you can click on the second link. Third link is for the Telegram group. You can see here, join Gate Super Coaching Telegram group. So this is the link of the Telegram group. Just join here. And if you want to learn the complete concepts of the gate, because already I have discussed this many a times, that this gate is going to behave as the basic preparation for all the competitive exams. Moreover, gate के questions इस level के होते हैं कि जो बाकी के competitive exams हैं उनमें कुछ questions आप depends on कि कौन सा exam है, तो कुछ ना कुछ questions पक्का से previous year gate questions होंगे. Usually when we are preparing for any exam, we look for the important set of questions. So for NIC, UGC NET, ISRO, DRDO, important set of questions are nothing but all the previous year questions. At least try last 20 uh, previous year gate questions. Okay. So if you want to join the super coaching, just click on the super coaching. In the super coaching, you will be getting the complete courses. You can see here the courses. Let's go to the full course. Subject wise course is also there. तो complete series of Gate Forum is available. ये जो मैं आपको series दिखा रही हूँ, these are the recorded sessions. Along with this, you will be having the live sessions as well, during which you can ask your queries and you can participate in the discussions. Okay. Another series is by the Digimento, and next third complete course is by Nimbus Learning, and the fourth one is by me and my team. So majority of the subjects are covered by me, and you can see the rating of this course out of 5, it's 4.9. So you can join this course. कैसे ज्वाइन करना है? If you want to have a look over the profile of the super teachers, demo classes, everything is very transparent. So just go through it. Live series is also there. Mock test, study notes. Study notes, आपके पास complete notes भी होंगे, and short notes will also be there, which are very very beneficial when you are going to write the exam. तो एक हफ्ता पहले आप पूरे के पूरे notes को revise करोगे नहीं, so it's always better to have the formula notes, so you can directly download it from here. Computer science engineering, तो जैसे आप जाओगे तो आपके पास complete notes आएंगे chapter by chapter. अभी आपको ये सारे logged दिख रहे होंगे, right? These all are logged because for this you have to buy the subscription. Okay, so all these things are available, but you won't be able to access it because these all are locked. कैसे access कर सकते हो? For that you have to go for the subscription. So we have three plans. One is the 1 year plan, 2 year plan, and 3 year plan. 1 year plan is for 13,499, 21,094, 26, triple. Basically, 3 year plan is for first and second year students of BTech. And 2 year plan is basically meant for second or third year students. Second year students वो ले सकते 2 year plan, जिनको थर्ड ईयर में अपना गेट क्रैक करना ही करना है ना, तो इट्स ओनली फॉर देम. बट इफ यू आर टारगेटिंग कि आपको फाइनल ईयर तक करना है तो थर्ड ईयर में जाके आप फिर 2 year plan लोगे. And 1 year plan is for the students those who are in the final year or those who are BTech pass outs. Okay, so this is the subscription, and if you want to apply the code, obviously सबको discount चाहिए होता है. So here you can apply the coupon code, that is Shefali S, in order to get the extra discount. Okay. So this is all from my side. If you have any doubt or query, just let me know. Otherwise, we'll end our discussion here. So let me discuss that what we are going to cover in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow we'll continue with the applications of the attribute along with the minimal canonical cover. So this is the topic for tomorrow's session. We'll be having the session at the same time. Now we have shifted from 5 p.m. to 4 p.m. daily. I'll be taking the sessions from 4 p.m. Okay, so please take note of this point. If you have any doubt or query, please write that in the chat section. I guess there was no query. So, all right, guys, this is all from my side. Thank you so much. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Bye bye.